Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm here with Matt Luther. He's all set to release his new album called Green on May 10th, and I'm super excited to talk to him about it. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, happy to have you on. What's going on in your part of the world? Where are you situated?
I'm in Hawaii right now, but I live in Florida. It's on my last day of vacation. Came out here for my birthday. Spent this will be my last day of a week trip.
Nice. What part of Hawaii?
I'm on a while right now.
Oh, sweet, man. Well, it looks pretty nice outside from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's a little cloudy, but it's not too bad. It's usually cloudy from what I've gathered uh, around this time of day, and then the clouds break up from the mountain.
Nice. Well, obviously, I want to talk to you about your music. The first thing that I'd love for you to open up about is the massive use of sampling on this record. The way that you've like interjected it all is truly wonderful. Where did you sort of get the inspiration for that, and how did you make it all work?
I find inspiration in pretty much everything. I know like the sampling in the first track is pretty much a recreation of my typical visit to my doctors with the VA. So I took um, dialogue from what they would normally say, and I gave my response, but I like washed it out in the reverb and the like I took the was
Yeah.
it the formant and like cranked it down because it's basically my way of expressing that I don't feel like that they hear what I say anyway. So what's the point of saying anything?
Right.
So I made it hard to hear on purpose. And
I
then
love it.
yeah, uh some of my other songs, I don't know, I think in images instead of words. So I
Mhm.
try to just like have the music like recreating what I'm seeing because I can't even when I'm like having a conversation with somebody, I can't really always get my point across with just words. So
Right.
I try to do that with imagery in my music.
Nice. Well, I mean, it's coming across pretty great. I definitely want to talk a bit about the production part of it because it sounds like a lot went into it just based off there being so much going on. What kind of like gear are you using? What kind of software are you using to put this all together?
I didn't use any physical gear for this album.
Hmm.
I used mostly plugins and I created it in Logic. And then I used I don't know, I don't want to like say too many things because there's some things I don't want to.
Yeah. No, don't feel like you need to overshare or anything like that. If you got secrets, keep them secret.
I have a certain process about some
Yeah.
of my production and that I picked up with my second album that came out in October, and I kind of like stuck with that and tried to do some new things with that on this album.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there wasn't any hardware used except for my laptop.
Right.
And
That's crazy that you can make
yeah,
all that on a laptop.
yeah,
Um,
crazy from where music started to now.
seriously on a piece of metal. So what I do want to talk about is actually what we were talking about before I hit the record button. You said that there is a series of albums that you're releasing, and this album specifically is just kind of a small part in the piece of the puzzle.
Correct. Yeah. So there's actually six albums. My first six albums is in a collection called Colors of My Life,
Hmm.
and each album is an acronym of a color, and each color, the acronym kind of has a way of like explaining what the album's about while also uh, relating to the color that I chose. And so the first one was orange, second one was blue. This one that we're talking about is green, and then I have red, violet, and yellow coming between this October and next year. And then
Damn.
I'll be done with that series and move on to something else.
S- Six albums in that short of a span. That's got to be a record or something. Because
My first
they
one
don't
too.
sound easy to make. And again, you don't have to go too much into the process side of things, but like there is a lot going on. It sounds like there's a lot, it's very time intensive, basically.
Yeah, I don't sleep much.
Just make music. Nothing wrong with
No.
that.
With this album in the in blue, my second one,
Hmm.
both of those had me doing a lot of like I was up for like 2 to 3 days in a row. I'd sleep for like I don't know 5 6 hours, and then I'd do it again, and then I'd sleep a whole day almost, and then I'd do it again.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good time.
I've never been one to sleep at normal hours, but when I get in an
Sure.
album cycle, I really don't sleep.
Mhm.
It's a whole nother level.
So as you progress through this album series, um, and I guess going forward at this point, are you going to be looking to experiment with what you're doing, or are you
For sure.
saving the real experimentation for after the series?
Nah, everything I do is in a way experimenting because I'm
Right.
I'm trying to make stuff I've never heard before. So I
Hmm.
don't want to like follow too many like trends or rules about music.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like I guess in a way create a new genre, but that's gonna take some time because I'm still
Yeah.
trying to like find myself as an artist because I haven't been making music that long
Sure.
and I haven't really fully developed my voice yet. So I think with time as that keeps getting better, I'll experiment even more.
That makes sense. And I totally get what you're saying about not wanting to sound like everyone else and trying to create your new thing. You're definitely on the right path. I will let you know that much.
Thank you.
But it kind of brings me to my next thing here is because there is so much inspiration in terms of, I guess, genre going on in this specific album. Who are some of your musical inspirations? Like, who are you listening to when you're trying to make your music?
Um, I mainly like currently I mainly listen to a band called Mute Math. I just don't think I'm at the level to portray a lot of the things that inspire me from them yet,
Okay.
and I would love to collab with them one day.
Yeah.
Their lead singer had recently got eye surgery, so I'm pretty sure he's like on a recovery path, and
Okay.
concerts aren't really open at well, they're about getting to that point, I guess. But
Yeah.
mainly them, a lot of like 2000s rock. I do listen to every genre,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna say that I like every song I hear because no one does. But
No.
I pull from every genre. I like and dislike music in every category. But main inspiration wise, I get a little bit of inspiration from hip hop. I just don't do it vocally.
Hmm.
I don't feel comfortable yet.
Yeah.
But a little bit of like the percussion styles and stuff like that, EDM, uh, 2000s rock and pop and stuff.
Nice. Um, you had mentioned that you hadn't been making music for that long. So what sort of spurred you into like, I guess, getting all the software and giving it a go?
In 2017, my grandfather passed away from cancer, and the night he passed away, while my whole family was like crying and stuff, I
Yeah.
was like holding it in. So I guess my way of like dealing with it while I was trying to hold it in physically, I took my phone out and kind of just started writing stuff in my notepad.
Hmm.
And then after reading through it, like a few hours later, I realized it like kind of had like a rhythm to it. So I ended up like putting some sections to it and turning it into a song. And then it ended up like I don't like to brag or anything like that, but after reading it, it seemed like it was already a song. So I actually didn't change any of the words of that song from
Okay.
that moment. And the song I'm talking about is actually going to be on my next album in October.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
because I had to fit it into like the themes and the colors and all that. So my next one is Bread, which would be a more angry album.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that one was the first song I wrote was actually about my father, and because I was mad at him because he wasn't really there in my grandfather's final moments, and we had to like beg him to come back to the house. So that started my musical journey, and then from there, I kept trying to like find producers
Hmm.
to like help me out because all I knew at that point was writing,
Yeah.
and it just kept getting me to dead ends because people weren't taking it as serious as I was. So I decided to go to school for music production and learn it
Oh,
myself. And then so now I'm my own producer. I produce for many other people besides myself and
nice.
wear many hats in music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I learned how to produce it myself, and then so that I started doing. I went to school in 29, the summer of 2018, and I
Hmm.
just graduated last May, so about a year ago.
Congrats, man.
Well, what's today's date? The 5th?
Today is the 5th. Yes.
Almost a year. Yeah, I graduated May 8th last year.
Nice. Nice. And yeah, you've definitely been busy since on
Made 3
the
albums since then.
yeah,
And a few singles.
right.
Yeah, and then I have an instrumental coming out in June
Okay.
before my next album, and then I have a single coming out every month at least.
Damn. You definitely
Yeah,
stay busy. I'm sure there's a lot of other artists out there who'd be jealous of a release schedule like that.
but an artist that I work with, I had a label, but I got rid of it during 2020.
Mhm.
I had 5 artists, but I cut down to just me and one of the other ones I was working with.
Oh,
So I guess like you could say I'm his manager, I guess.
yeah.
But um, he's releasing a song every Thursday of this year.
What?
We were recording like
What?
almost all year last year, getting that ready.
What like full songs or like little clips
They
and
average
snippets and
they average about 2 minutes, but I mean
that's
they're full songs.
still
Yeah, he's got the full
damn.
idea in there, and that it gave me so much additional mixing and mastering experience.
Oh, I'm sure. That's yeah, that's the ultimate learning experience right
Yeah,
now.
so, like,
And especially because like, I mean, the music industry now is I feel like it's leaning a lot less on EP releases or album releases, and it's all about like building the hype and then like capitalizing so you don't lose your
right.
audience. So
And
these
he's got
single
something fresh
releases,
every 7 days. So it's like,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
geez. Well, what's his name? I'd love to listen.
He goes by trademark, TRADEMVRQ.
Okay,
It's a play off of his real name, but yeah, I thought it was a cool name.
that is a cool name. Wow. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Thank you for mentioning it.
Yeah.
And so
If
yeah.
on my Instagram bio,
Mhm.
his account is tagged in that if you want
Oh,
to have quick access to it.
absolutely. Perfect. I wanted to go a little bit more into your process. I mean, it sounds like you've gotten all this practice just from working with other people, but is there a specific way that you start a song? Does it always start with like a beat or a lyric, or how do you go about
Um,
it?
yeah, so at first, it usually always started with lyrics,
Mhm.
which from talking to people, that's different, I guess.
Yeah,
But I
I mean,
guess
I hear a little bit of everything.
yeah. But I started with lyrics. I usually had all the lyrics done before I would even start on the production, and then but when I got to about halfway through my second album, and then everything I made since then, the process of every song is different. So
Right.
I have like a my process is just that it's different every time because like some like now like lyrics will come first, or I'll make a beat first and write to it, or which I didn't know how to do at first.
Right.
There like the single I had come out last August, I made the cover art, then the title, then the music, then the lyrics.
Well, that's certainly unique. I've never heard anything like that before. You know, I it feels like I mean, like I don't make music personally, but I feel like not having a set process could be fun and it makes it feel less like a job. I suppose you kind of you go where you feel you think things are needed.
I also feel like it helps you not to sound repetitive. Like you know
Yeah,
those bands that
yeah,
like all their
that too.
music sounds like the last song that came out,
Right.
like
Yeah,
Maroon
they
5.
just it's the
Not to hit any
formula.
haters, but
True. That
yeah.
makes sense. You know, things in America are getting better as far as virus is concerned. Is there any chance that we could see you tour any of these songs in any part of this year or in the future?
Yeah. So I have a show offer in Orlando, but I have
Nice.
never performed yet.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm nervous about my first performance. I do plan on doing it at some point this year, and I'm planning for me and my artist to go on tour next year. I'm just trying
Nice.
to book that right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we plan. We're looking to like start in the Northeast and work our way, kind of once we get to Florida we're gonna start in New York, go down the East Coast, and then go across I-10 over to California.
There you go. Well, I'm in LA. Please stop by. I'd love to see it.
Oh, for sure. I actually have a layover there tomorrow for five
Oh
hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. LAX is not a bad airport. I'll be there too. Actually, I'm flying out tomorrow. That's
Is
hilarious.
there enough time for me to like leave and come back with 5 hours?
In that part of LA, I would say no. Just because like the airport area is like
Yeah,
it's pretty residential,
it was easy to
suburban.
do in Cleveland, but it's
Yeah,
Cleveland.
that's it depends what you want to do. I mean, there's an in and out at
And
like at the airport if that's something you wanted to try. But
I'm not big on In and Out. I usually people think I hate In and Out because I talk so highly of Whataburger, but I
yeah.
I don't mind In and Out. It's not my favorite.
I think it's better if you were raised in California. That's kind of the consensus that I've
Yeah,
gathered from people. But it's all
and I'm about to
good.
move to Arizona, so I'm probably gonna be surrounded by them.
Oh, 100%. That's funny. All right, enough about burgers. Back to the music here. If you had to sort of describe your music to someone, how would you put that into a sentence?
No, pun intended, Mataspheric. That's why I changed my name.
That's it. That's the answer.
Yeah, because people, the question I get a lot is people ask me like, what kind of music do I make, and I always find that
Sure.
difficult to answer as far as genre. I
Yeah.
mean, you've heard my album; it's like a
Right.
mixture of stuff, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, like I don't usually know how to answer that question, so I either tell them storytelling or just like ethereal pop. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? There's not really a right answer. And I feel that music itself is just blurring genres all over the place these days. No one's
especially
just
as time
making
goes
pop
on.
music. Yeah.
It's hard to like make an original sound when you've heard so much.
Hmm. Right, exactly. Going back to the touring question for just a sec, if you had to pick a single song from this record to play live, which one would it be?
Pluto.
Why is that?
It was the first one I wrote on the album and the first one I released as a single in January.
Okay.
And just the meaning behind it, like it has multiple meanings
Hmm.
because people can interpret it differently, and I wrote it that way intentionally. But for me, it was like inspiring myself to like come out of my shell and stop being worried about like how others perceive me or how I look and stuff. And then
Okay.
like other parts of it is like leaving my hometown and moving thousands of miles away and never looking back really.
Right. Yeah, that
So
seems like a good answer. Definitely
I
more on
haven't really slowed
the
down long
personal
enough
side.
to like be homesick.
Right. That makes sense. All right. Well, I've only got a few more questions for you, and then I'll let you get back to your vacation. But I want to know. So, we're a third of the way through this year already, which is crazy. But I want to know what are some musical or not non-musical goals that you've set for yourself for the rest of 2021?
Well, pretty soon I'm gonna hit 500,000 total streams on
Nice.
Spotify. Um, I don't know, I'm like mid 400s right now, so that was a goal I set in last November because
Oh
I got up
yeah.
to like 3 something, so I just wanted to really hit that milestone.
Sweet.
And then by next summer, I plan on hitting a million and picking up the pace. And then
I
I
mean, you've
want
already got
to,
enough albums, so
yeah. Um, um, I've already started writing for stuff that's coming out like a couple years from now. Because most of my songs that are going to be on the 6 album collection is completely written lyric wise,
Mhm.
but there's usually a couple that I write while I'm making the album because they come to mind.
Got it.
So usually 1 to 2 tracks or something I wrote throughout producing the album and I add them on. Um, and then obviously another goal I have is perform my first show
Nice.
and then just make connection with fans because that's my whole goal
That's what
overall is to make real connections with
right.
people, whether that is 100 people, thousands, millions, whatever. I just want to connect with and inspire as many people as I can and as
I
many
mean,
countries as I can.
that's what it's all about, really.
And it really feels good when people in a different country that don't speak your language connect
Yeah.
with your music because that means they felt it.
Exactly. Like it doesn't need to be, the English language, for example, for them to vibe
Yeah,
with it. Like you have spent the time putting sounds together and they loved it. Yeah, that's got to be the best feeling.
that and walking into a room when everyone's singing your song.
That too. That's got to be something.
It was weird to me at first until I was just like, oh, I'm supposed to feel good about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Um, all right, well, my last question for you here is for the person that's going to discover you from this, for the person that's going to find your music for the first time, what is a message that you would sort of like to pass off to the first time listener?
Hmm. That's tough because I don't know how they're gonna interpret it.
Yeah, but that
Um,
could be the message.
True. I would say just try to while you're listening through the album, like really pay attention to the words. Although sometimes they're hard to hear, but that's somewhat intentional that I'll explain in my last album.
All right,
Um, but like try to listen to the words, which I will be putting out lyric videos for all of my music
cool.
at some point. And then like think about like a memory or something that like you can relate with that, because that's really the goal, is to for me to inspire people that have gone through similar things as me,
Yeah,
that no matter how bad it gets, you can always keep going forward and not let these things like, become impassable objects in life. Like you can come from nothing and become
right.
everything.
I love that. That's awesome, man. Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Seriously, it means a lot. And for everyone else out there, Green is all set to come out on May 10th. Stream it. Let's get it up to 1 million. I know personally, I'm looking forward to the rest of these albums, and I'm definitely going to be checking out the previous albums as well.
Can I
So
add something real quick?
please.
Um, it's kind of a plug, but because I'm trying to do
Oh,
a
dude,
fundraiser.
plug
So
away.
I don't know if this is backwards or not on my camera, but this was my first single I ever released called Danielle Strong. It's about my best friend's sister who, when she was 16, she got cancer. Um, and she went to remission, but last year it came back and she's,
Mm,
going through it and recovering again. Um, that song right now is around 140, almost 150,000 streams. Every all the royalties I get from that song and all of the profits I make from like the shirt I'm wearing, I have a merch line that's in the link in my bio on my Instagram.
mhm.
All the profits from that and all of the royalties from that song are being donated to the CHKD Children's Cancers Research Fund. And then I give 25% of those royalties to Danielle herself as well.
Damn,
So
that's amazing. Thank you
anyone
for
that buys
saying
the
that.
merch, that will really help out with this for
I love
sure.
that. I'm gonna go check that out right now. I'm gonna go give it a listen to.
Thank you.
Thanks for
There's an
plugging it.
acoustic version too that's a little bit better production because
Okay.
after I learned a little,
Of course, of course. Baby
that's on my
steps.
first album, Orange, the acoustic version.
Got it. Cool, man. All right. Thank you so much again for taking the time. Have a great
No
rest
problem.
of your day and fly safe tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. This is a good time.
You're welcome. Talk to you later. Bye
You too.
bye.
Have a good day.
See ya.